So, just talking about the beginning of the game, lead off home run again, almost identical to the one yesterday. Like hit the top of the fence. Um, Will just he didn't command the ball in the first inning. Everything was up, was leaving some pitches up. Coach went out and made a visit and started throwing the ball down, throwing the cutter down, fastball down. We get out of a big jam there. They only scored one. That was huge. And then Will, he fought and gave us some innings. And the next thing you know, he gave us 6 innings. And once we got to the point where we needed 9 outs, we thought we'd go with Gage because he's been throwing the ball pretty good. He's pretty confident. And he did it for us. On the offensive side, you face a guy like Dollander. I mean, he's got electric stuff, but we got his pitch count up, and that was kind of one of our goals. And it started off with the very first hitter of the game. I think Josenberger saw maybe 11 or 12 pitches, something like that. Fouled off some 96-mile-an-hour fastballs, maybe a little more, and just really got us off to a good start there. And then obviously Borafin got in a good hitter's count, 3-1, got him a fastball and hit it a long way, and we had the lead, and we never let it up. And they threatened us a couple of times, got out of some jams. We had a chance to break it open with the bases loaded and 1 out, and their pitcher did a great job getting out of it. But the next inning, we got 3 runs, and they were hard earned, manufactured. They threw a ball away on a little trick play, and we get a big hit, and it was having a 4-run lead. Still didn't feel safe with the wind blowing like it is, but good win for us tonight.
Going back to McIntyre, I think it was the third inning, put the first couple of guys on. I think Dylan Carter was getting loose in the pen. What were the conversations like in the dugout, and how big was it that he was able to get through that?
Well, the conversations in the dugout were, is he going to be able to start hitting some spots? Because if not, they're going to score. I think one of those guys got on a walk. And, if they hit you, they hit you. They got guys that can hit, and the wind blowing out. And it should have been a hitter's day, hitter's night. So then he just kind of flipped it. We got a couple of quick outs, and I don't know, one of the innings he didn't throw hardly any pitches. And we're kind of thinking, okay, maybe he's getting it going. It's almost identical to the Friday night game. It's like our starter got it going, and then he got better in the third and fourth and fifth, and I ran out of gas in the sixth. Pitch count got up, and especially what happened with Will. But that was huge for us to be able to continue to use him. And we used 2 pitchers yesterday. We used 2 today, and we got some guys left who we're going to pitch. To the next question you're going to ask, I don't know yet. And we've got some options, but at least we got some guys with some fresh arms. We'll just try to piece it together tomorrow.
I was curious what you thought about Diggs and Ryan. I mean, I know he had the error in the first inning, but he also made the really nice catch in the corner, and also played the ball off the wall in the sixth inning pretty well too.
Yeah, the hardest ball to catch, and plus it was the time of night too, it's kind of hard to see, is the line drive hit right at you in the outfield. He a lot of people are probably thinking that, charge the ball, but it's hard to read it when you don't have a little side angle. He got the ball, and then he just kind of panicked a little bit, and we got sped up. But the play down the right field line, that was a great play, to not give their hitter another pitch. And ball kind of started in the stands and came back, and he actually caught it maybe half a row in, and did a nice job on that ball that hit the wall. One hop right back to him, and very rarely do you see a guy hit a ball off the right field wall and only get a single, especially at this level. So he's hanging in there.
3 weeks now, Gage Woods pitched really well for you when he's come in. What's been the difference with him over these last few weeks?
I think he just mentally turned the corner, because we saw it in the fall. We thought this guy's going to help us as a freshman. And he just seemed a little nervous first couple, 3 times out, which is probably normal. And, he had a couple of disappointing outings a few weeks back. And I think he just said, I'm done with that. I'm good. We've been telling him he's good. Players think he's good. And you know, he's, like you said, he's had 3 weekends in a row. He's helped us win games.
Hagan last night in his 3 innings had 7 strikeouts. Gage had 6 tonight. Do you think there might be something to being a different pitcher than what Tennessee had seen for the first 6 innings?
Yeah, you know, I'll go back to yesterday. We threw 2 lefties at him. Starter today is a right-hander, doesn't throw real hard, just throws a cutter and a slider and a curveball and maybe a little changeup. And then we bring in a guy throwing 93, 95, whatever he's throwing. The board's not always right. It's usually low. But yeah, a little different. He's kind of more of a downward breaking ball. He actually threw 2 changeups today. One was really good. One went to the backstop. And that's something that he's experimenting with.
Dolander had retired 11 straight batters, and then Cali hit a ball 106 miles an hour against him. You know, he didn't get a hit for it, but to spark your dugout. I mean, how did your team react to that?
Yeah,
that
it
ball?
was and it was a leadoff air double that I wish we would have scored at a hit, but you got to take care of those high profile pitchers and their ERAs. You know, we were glad to we were I mean, it was big because we hadn't done much. We had some quick innings and we need to get his pitch count up, but more than anything, we needed to score. And I think we did score that inning. So we were pretty excited about it, honestly. And then I think the next hitter was who was the next hitter? Yeah, McLaughlin, and he singled up the middle. That was big. That was a big run, score run. We hadn't even made it, no outs, and was kind of hoping we had a chance to score some more, and we didn't.
It seems like you guys have been more aggressive on the base paths these last couple of weeks. Is that something that you've seen from opposing teams' catchers, or just kind of you have the guys to do it? Just kind of what it seems like that played a big role. What led to that
Yeah.
change?
Well, you kind of take what they give you, and you know, scouting reports. You look at stats. And you know, you kind of know what you have an opportunity to do with certain guys on the mound. I mean, all teams do it. You know that the guy's slow to the plate. He's really good. Got to get to second somehow. And but we have tried to be a little bit more aggressive, steal some bases. We've even, you know, hit and run a little bit. I think one time last weekend, I think it was fouled off. But you know, we're not just trying to sit around and hit home runs because they're hard to get.
And just from a big picture standpoint, when you look over at Tennessee, you know, they're 5-9 in SEC play, and you know how good they are. Just is that just a easy way to remind your team just how hard it is to win in this league and how good you have to be night in, night out?
Yeah, and you know, we talk about it all the time, and yeah, I mean, there's some really good teams that are struggling right now, and it can flip on you. You know, one injury away. I mean, we're playing without our 3-hole hitter, one of our top RBI guys, and you know, I told him the other day that we just have to have guys up and down the lineup pick us up. A couple guys that don't drive in runs, got to start driving in some runs, whatever the case may be, and it's really hard to win in the league because the teams are we're all really close, honestly.
Skeens and Dolander are probably going to be 1-2 as far as pitchers taken in the draft. Do you think your team learned anything from seeing Skeens a couple of weeks ago that they were able to apply?
Yeah, I think so. You know, Skeens commanded the fastball a little bit better, but or at least pretty much the whole game. And you know, Dolander, he started commanding it there late there when he got on a roll there, maybe the 3rd, 4th, 5th. But you know, when you see that high octane fastball like that, I mean, the more you see it, the more you got a chance to hit it. So I feel like that we took some good swings. We fouled a lot off, and that's what happens when guys throw that hard. It's hard to square it up. But if you do square it up, it goes a long way. And it definitely didn't hurt seeing Skeens a few weeks back to prepare us to see this type of velocity.
And then it's been about a month since you've had a series wrapped up going into Sunday. How good does that feel?
Well, it feels good, you know, but just like I told the team, you know, let's not just be all happy about this, you know, and I didn't even mention that we had won the series because it is what it is. And they know we have, but it's about, we have another game tomorrow and we need to do everything we can to try to win that thing.
Bolton basically manufactured a run by himself, the first run in the 7th. What has he meant to the team as kind of a presence?
Well, you know, he's a defensive player first, and he's done a great job of making the routine play. He's made the tough plays. You know, what we ask him to do down there is find a way to get on. And, you know, he's struggled at the plate, obviously, but he's swinging the bat better. you know, I feel bad what happened his last at bat. We told him to take his time a little bit, but we didn't want him to take that much time. Getting in there, and you know, we'll talk about that tomorrow. And when you got to keep an eye on that clock, you got to be facing the pitcher in the box with 10 seconds left or it's strike, and then threw him 2 nasty breaking balls. But when he's on, you know, he can run. He can challenge to steal a base.
After Stoll got hit, looked like maybe in the knee.
Yeah.
They tried to pick him off 4 or 5 consecutive times. Can you just kind of tell us about that stretch and
Yeah.
maybe how hard that is to go back in on a sore knee like that?
Well, they picked it 4 or 5 times. Then the coach went out and visited the mound, and then he picked at least one more time. They did that was all a setup to try to run that play to pick at third. And you know, where the pitcher steps off the rubber, arm fakes to first, and then spins and throws. And it's a really hard play. Now, if he makes a good throw, he's probably out. But I mean, it's risky. It's sometimes you do that when you're behind a run, you're trying to keep it there in the worst way. And yeah, but him having to dive back, I mean, that'll wear you down a little bit.
And then with Wagner, you got any update on him? Is it different from yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, I think what we're probably going to do is we're going to have a hand doctor look at it again, and I don't know if we're going to play him for a while. I think we're going to let that thing heal till it heals 3-4 weeks.
The rundown you got them in the first inning. What did you think of the execution of your infield?
Yeah, it was beautiful. I kind of joked about it. Maybe we need to work on it more. Hey, they handled the ball, but I just wish our catcher would have just run the first runner all the way back to third. And maybe we could have tagged both of them. You know, somebody's out, right? Do you know which one? It's very confusing if they're both standing on the bag. Yeah, I think so. I want to look at my rule book, but yeah, that's what I think. And we had another play when if Brady could have gone there and tagged, might have been able to get 2 there and be in the dugout. Thank goodness the very next pitch, threw a cutter, and it was off the end of the bat, a little spinner to first. We got out of the inning. It was huge. But I didn't really answer your question. It wasn't great. Okay. All right.